Hello and welcome to another episode of Toya Talks Wrestling, and today's episode we'll call it the future of the heavyweight championship. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about this first. Seth Rollins will be out for a while. He had injured himself at Crown Jewel, I believe. He had to have shoulder surgery. I think he injured himself doing the coast to coast headbutt on Cody Rhodes at Crown Jewel. I think that's where he might have injured himself, but he has a bad shoulder. He has to go get surgery, so he's going to be out for a while. Which is why, storyline wise, they had to put him out by having Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed attack him last Monday on Raw. Storyline wise anyway, so that's why he's out. So I just want to say speedy recovery and everything else. We'll miss you. Can't wait for you to come back. It's gonna be awesome. But yeah, so then let's fast forward to Monday Night Raw last night, October 20th, 2025. We had Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman come out of a black SUV, and Braun Breaker was in the front seat, and he comes out and he has the heavyweight championship, and he's like front, center, and camera and everything else. And for me, I don't know about anybody else, but for me, I looked at that and I'm like, okay, that is where WWE is going. I don't know how they're going to get there, but that is where they're going, because there is a reason why they put Braun Breaker in that camera shot. It could have been easily been Paul Heyman in the front seat with the title, right? But no, they put Braun Breaker in that front seat and coming out of that front seat and putting him right there in front of that camera shot. For all you see is Braun Breaker with that title. I'm like, that is where they're going. How are they going to get there? No idea how they're going to get there, but that is where they're going. I 100% believe that. I do. I don't think WWE does things just to do things. I don't. So that's what I got anyway. So then they go into Braun Breaker leads Bronson Reed and Paul Heyman to Gorilla and go to the stage, to the ring, where Adam Pearce is already there. And basically Adam Pearce is like telling like the audience and the Bronson and Paul Heyman, saying that, because we knew that Seth Rollins had a kind of like had like a bad shoulder and everything else, but because of you two, now he's out for like a while now because they have to have surgery. He ain't here, he has to have surgery, and it's because of the actions of what you two did last week, right? And Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, they're like kind of like smiling and everything else, and he said, and then Adam Pearce is like, now I have the misfortune to tell the audience here that I have to strip Seth Rollins of the heavyweight title, which, man, that fucking sucks. The audience booed, but for obvious reasons, right? And everything else. But like I said, I hope he comes back. I hope he heals and gets back sooner than later. But it looks like he's gonna be out for a while, because it's like, I don't know. I know it's a surgery on his shoulder, but I don't know exactly what it is exactly. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but obviously long enough to where he had to be stripped of the title, unfortunately. So then, and Adam Pearce is like, I don't know why you're smiling and everything else like that. It's your fault and all this other stuff. And he says, don't worry, we're going to have a champion, because we're going to crown a champion at Saturday's main event. So CM Punk's already in the match at Saturday's main event, because he had won a number one contenders match last week win a triple threat match with him, LA Knight, and Jey Uso. So he's already in, right? So then we're gonna have another match on Monday, right? Last night, for the other opponent, I guess another number one contender, I guess you could say, and it's gonna be for a battle royal, and whoever wins that match will, obviously go against CM Punk, blah blah blah. And so then Adam Pearce basically asked for the heavyweight championship back, because it doesn't belong to the Vision anymore. And Braun Breaker is like, what if I don't give it to you? Paul Heyman's trying to like say, like, ease up, dude, like, you don't want to, don't do anything you're gonna regret. And Braun Breaker's like, well, you have to say it with some respect. And then Adam Pearce like, respectfully give me the title back, please. Title back. And he says, and Braun Breaker's like, say please. And then he says, respectfully give me the title back, please. And instead of giving Braun Breaker giving the title to Adam Pearce, he gave it to Paul Heyman. And Paul Heyman gave it to Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce leaves the ring. And then basically, Paul Heyman talked about why, they pretty much dropped Seth Rollins. I'm not gonna go into the whole stuff and everything else like that, saying that Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed are the future, Seth Rollins is not, and everything else. So we had later on in the show, because they showed the graphic of who is going to be in the Battle Royal, and it would have been assumed that Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker were going to be in the Battle Royal, right? I think they were on the graphic, and then they took them off the graphic, and Paul Heyman goes and tries to talk to Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce is like, he's been waiting for, him to come by and everything else, and Paul Heyman's like, why are they not on the graphic of the Battle Royal? It's like, oh, because they're not in the match. That's what Adam Pearce said. And he's like, do you want me to put them on the graphic in the match? And he's like, yes, right? And Adam Pearce is like, well, say please. And he's like, well, please put them back on, fucking Paul Heyman being the slimy Paul Heyman he is, kissing ass where he needs to be kissing ass and everything else. So he's kissing Adam Pearce's ass so that Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed can be in the fucking match, right? And everything else. And then Adam Pearce is like, no, and slams the door on his face, right? And I'm thinking, like, of course Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed are not going to be in the Battle Royal. Why would they be? Why are we rewarding bad behavior? Okay, that's their punishment. The punishment is they're not going to be in the match because they don't deserve to be in the match. Because of them, Seth Rollins is out, storyline wise, obviously. He's out for good because of them. So why would they put them in the match? For what reason? Because I'm like, oh, that makes sense, like, of course they're not gonna get into the match. They don't deserve to be in the match because they didn't fucking. It's their fault, right? It's their fault, and we're gonna reward bad behavior. What's wrong with this country now, And so they had had that, and then Becky Lynch was like right behind Paul Heyman. Becky Lynch pretty much just told like, Paul Heyman, never trusted you, neither did my husband, but that's okay because, he's gonna get whatever Neko baby you attach yourself to and all this other stuff and all blah blah blah. Neko baby because Bronson Reed is he's related to the Steiners. So that was a good promo. If you haven't seen that part, that was great. Like, Becky was fucking pretty much gave it to you. I was like, that damn Becky, I thought she was gonna fucking kill him right then and there. So then later we had like Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed backstage, and here comes Paul Heyman, and Braun Breaker's like, I don't understand why we are not in the Battle Royal and everything else, blah blah blah. And Paul Heyman was like, Brock Lesnar could have took out everybody, but he listened to Paul Heyman, right? Punk was about to be out of the WWE or F whatever at the time, and he listened to Paul Heyman. Roman Reigns was the big dog, but Paul Heyman made him into the tribal chief. Like, because he listened to Paul Heyman. Basically, it's like, just trust Paul Heyman. He knows what he's fucking doing. He's going to do what he needs to do. He said there's backstage politics into this and stuff like that. A lot of people must have missed that, because I'm just like, okay. I'm like, alright, I don't know how Braun Breaker is going to be in the championship title, but it looks to me as though Paul Heyman is going to do what Paul Heyman does best and get him into that title picture. Some way, somehow. I don't know how. But it's going to happen. Anyways, so we have that. So then we had, at one point, we had Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso. Jimmy is like getting warmed up because he's part of the Battle Royal. And Jey Uso comes in. This one, I kind of giggle at this. He's like, "Do you want me to acknowledge you?" Right? And everything else. You can tell Jimmy is probably like the joke too, because he's trying to hold back laughter and stuff like that. And Jay's like, "I'm sorry," and everything else. I'm just trying to just focus on getting this championship, blah 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 blah. And Jimmy's like, "Well, you're acting too much like Roman because it's like," Jay's like, "Maybe you're right, but then again, maybe Roman's right," and all this other stuff. So Jimmy said in the backstage, right? He's like, "Look, I hope you mean what you say, because out there it's every man for himself. I'm going after everybody, even you." And right, and Jay's like, "Alright, it's like, we good?" It's like, "Yeah, yeet," right? So they're good, right? So let's fast forward to the Battle Royal. So we had the Usos, we had AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, who are now the new tag team championship. So congratulations to them, they won it last night. Dominic Mysterio, Rusev, Penta, which by the way, we had a match between Rusev and Dominic Mysterio for the IC title, and Dominic once again has been able to sneak his way out to where he won. Again, he's just incredible in the ring. He's fucking like a mastermind in the ring. He's always escaping all the time. But I see a triple threat match. But I don't know if it's gonna be a Saturday Night's main event. I don't know if it's gonna be at Survivor Series. But I can see a triple threat for the IC title between Dom, Rusev, and Penta. Whoever wins at that, I don't know. We got Sheamus came back. Good to see Sheamus again. Who else was in there? The Alpha Academy guys were there. Kofi Kingston was in it. LA Knight, obviously, and I don't remember who else. Other fucking people. And then CM Punk came out. He was obviously not in the match because he's already #1 contender. He doesn't need to be there. But he was at commentary with Wade and Joe Tessitore. Anyways, it ended up having to be the 4 last people in the match were Jay, Jimmy, LA Knight, and Dominic Mysterio. At one point, Jay and LA Knight were going back and forth. Jay was on the outside on the apron, LA Knight was on the inside, and they're doing punches. Yeet, yeah, yeet, yeah, yeet, yeah, right back and forth. Where LA Knight pretty much was about to eliminate Jay. Jay's like fucking just dangling on the apron, holding on to the rope, just dangling there like a Christmas ornament on a tree, right? And as soon as LA Knight was about to eliminate Jey Uso, right? Here comes Jimmy. Jimmy does a super kick to LA Knight, and he saved Jey Uso. He brings him back in, right? Brings his brother back in. By the way, this is like the second time he had saved Jay. Jay was about to be eliminated before, and the second time he saved Jay. And I'm just like, dude, you already saved him once, right? Why are you saving your brother again? Every man for himself. You are gonna rule the day that you fucking never did that. You know what I'm saying? That's like, and at that moment you knew you fucked up. Like, come on, Jimmy, you want to win a title, right? I'm just like, every man for himself. And I'm like, alright, you're gonna fucking learn, okay? You're gonna learn today, Jimmy. You're gonna learn today. So then you have LA Knight and Jimmy, they're fighting, and they're about to throw each other over the top rope. And here comes Jay. Jay comes in and he throws both of them over the top rope, right? So he eliminates LA Knight, and he eliminates LA Knight and Jimmy Uso, right? And Jimmy is just looking at and Jey Uso is like in position to where he's in position for a 619, right? Because he's looking at he's looking at Jimmy, his brother, and he's like, you know, and his brother looks all like sad and like surprised and just mad and everything else, and I'm just like, Jimmy, like, you just told your brother backstage 20 minutes before the match started that you were going to go after everybody, including him. And it's like, what would you expect for Jey to do? That is the whole object of the fucking match, is to throw their opponents over the top rope to win. Did you honestly think that he wasn't going to do that? It's not like, oh my god, he turned on you. That's the match. He didn't turn on you. That is the match. You know what I'm saying? It'd be a totally different situation if you had won and he fucking beat the shit out of you. Well then yes, then he turned on you. You know what I mean? But that didn't happen. The people, I can't believe he did that to Jimmy. I'm like, Jimmy had opportunities to fucking, you know, do the same goddamn thing when Jey was fucking teetering like a fucking Christmas ornament on a Christmas tree. He could have just eliminated both Jey and LA Knight. But did he do that? No, he did not. Sorry about your luck, Jimmy. I'm really sorry about your luck. So then, like I said, Jey Uso was in the position for the 619, and Dominic Mysterio was like right there, right? And I was just like, oh, they're gonna have a Dominic versus Punk at Saturday's main event. I wouldn't mind, you know, I would not have mind. That would have been a good match, but they did not. They had Dominic Mysterio be eliminated, so now Jey Uso is going to go to Saturday's main event to face CM Punk for the vacant heavyweight championship title. So after that, you know, you had Jimmy, he's outside of the ring, they're playing Jay's music, Jay's yeeting and stuff like that, he's looking at his brother and everything else, like what, like seriously, dude, like what, like why you mad, this is a game, right, this is how this works, right, don't get mad. And then we had like where Punk gets into the ring, they don't really say anything, they just kind of like face each other and they just fucking touch foreheads and noses and stuff like that and everything else. So there is a lot of fucking people that are upset that Jey Uso won, because they're like, we don't want Jey Uso to be champion. And I'm like, fair enough, right? They want the LA Knight to win, which I want LA Knight to win too, because LA Knight and CM Punk have been having words, but I'm like, well, so has CM Punk and Jey Uso as well. But here's where I differ than everything, because a lot of people saying that WWE is playing it safe, and they say they should have had Braun Breaker in a match. And I'm like, you want to talk about playing it safe, right? So putting Braun Breaker into a battle royal is not playing it safe. Where is the danger? What? That it would end up being Braun Breaker versus Bronson Reed? Is that the danger? Is that what we would have went with? That would have never happened, right? So where would be the danger? Please tell me. I would like to know, because I don't know. I would love to know. Someone please give me a clue as to where the danger, where it would have lied. It wouldn't have, right? I think this is where we see where Paul Heyman does best, and trying to get Braun Breaker in the match with have a triple threat match at Saturday's main event versus Jey and Punk. That's what I think they should do. Right, a lot of people are like, well, maybe they will have it to where there's not going to be a winner crowned at Saturday's main event, because maybe Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed will go and attack both Punk and Jey Uso And I'm just like, why would you want to prolong that? Like, first of all, like, why would you want to do that? How is that going to even work? Right? Okay, so like Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed go after Punk and Jay during the match, and it ends up in disqualification. So now we have a match at Survivor Series. How is it going to have it to where it's like Braun Breaker going to be rewarded a title shot when he ruined a fucking match? Please tell me. Please let me know. How does this work, right? I can understand that this might work if, say, we have the Braun Brawns go and attack everybody on Raw until they get what they want, right? We want a title shot. We want Braun Breaker to have a title shot. We are going to destroy everything in sight. No one's going to be safe, right? I believe Braun Breaker's already done this before. I don't know, where we're just gonna do everything and we're going to attack everybody. Everybody's gonna get hurt until we get what we want, right? They can go with that. They can go that path, sure. But I think we're gonna go through the path of seeing what Paul Heyman is going to do. Paul Heyman is somehow going to weasel his way to have Braun Breaker to be in that match. How? I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, that's what I think. Anyway, I think it's gonna be a triple threat match. I'm like, we got 11 days now to Saturday night's main event. Anything can happen. We're gonna see the workings of Paul Heyman and the reason why Paul Heyman is the GOAT. We're gonna find out why he is the GOAT. We're gonna find out why Paul Heyman is Paul Heyman. Why we just like, alright, I'm gonna see what happens, right? I know a lot of people are upset, and a lot of people say, well, LA Knight should have won, and I'm like, yeah, sure, LA Knight should have won. Agreed. But even if he had won last night at Battle Royal, he wasn't going to win the title at Saturday night's main event. He would have still lost. So he might as well lost there instead of at Saturday night's main event. You know, he's gonna lose, right? I'm not saying that he's never going to get the title. He is going to get the title win, probably after Braun Breaker wins the title. Because, now someone said they wanted to see Braun Breaker versus Roman Reigns for the title. I'm just like, oh my gosh, no. Like, even if Braun Breaker beats Roman Reigns and retains the title, I just don't want to see Roman Reigns in a title position for the longest time. We've had Roman Reigns be fucking champion for 4 years. He does not need to be nowhere near a title, right? If you want to have Braun Breaker versus Roman Reigns for that reason alone, yes, I want to see that match. I just don't want to see it for the title. I don't want to see it for the title. No. God, no, please, no. Okay? Oh my goodness, no. Right? And I can see fucking maybe LA Knight fucking beating Braun Breaker for the title. When? I don't know when. When? I don't know. Just, I don't know. I don't know. This is what I saw in my head as I was watching Raw. As I was reading people's comments, as I was watching Raw, and I was like, it wouldn't have mattered. Right? And I don't know what's going on with Jimmy and Jay, but I can see maybe they're going to like do some kind of storyline with them and Roman as well. So that's separate with that. I mean, it's gonna be a good match regardless. Could be Punk and it's gonna be Punk and Jay, which I'm fine with. Right? I don't think either one of them is going to end up being champion. I think Paul Heyman's going to sneak his way into the thing to put Braun Breaker in it to make it a triple threat match, or maybe Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed tear up the fucking roster until they get what they want, right? But like I said before in the beginning of this part of the video, that image where you saw Braun Breaker come out of the SUV with the title shot and that camera shot, that is where we're going. How we get there, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how we get there, but that's the goal that we're going with. And that's what I believe. But anyways, overall it was a good show. I really enjoyed it. If you haven't watched it yet, it's on Netflix. You go check it out. Yeah, I think that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Okay, bye.